What's good, Wizards fans? DMV Sports Talk on the mic. Let's get into the news. Have you heard the latest about the Pistons swapping their parts for Wizards magic? The Wiz might have even fleeced Detroit. It's an unexpected twist in such a sad and forgettable season. The Detroit Pistons have decided to trade Marvin Bagley III, a former number 2 overall pick with an average of 10.2 points and 4.5 rebounds this season, to the Washington Wizards. But that's not all. Along with Bagley, the Wizards also managed to secure Isaiah Livers and the Pistons' second-round pick. So what did the Pistons get in return? Well, they've received veteran forwards Danilo Gallinari and Mike Muscala. If you're wondering why the Pistons would trade a promising player like Bagley and a second-round pick for 2 veterans, at this point 2 men that look unfit to be on an NBA court, you're not alone. Gallinari and Muscala are averaging 7 and 4 points respectively this season, which hardly seems like a fair trade for Bagley's double-digit scoring. But there's a catch. This trade isn't just about the players, it's also about the money. By trading for Gallinari and Muscala, whose contracts expire this offseason, the Pistons are clearing cap space for the 2024 to 2025 season. It's a challenging maneuver because, let's be honest, who is really lining up to go to Detroit to play some Pistons basketball? Not me, that's for sure. But sometimes you have to gamble to win. The Pistons seem to be gearing up for a critical offseason by trading their unwanted bench players for some good old Wizards magic. It's a daring strategy, and only time will tell if this unforeseen trade will bring some sort of tangible progress. So the Pistons have exchanged their machinery for the magic of Wizards. Let's see how this unexpected and largely unnoticed trade pans out. So the Wizards have their new tall guys. What can we expect, if anything? Let's start with Marvin Bagley III, the former 2nd overall pick who's now sporting the Wizards jersey. He's been averaging 10.2 points and 4.5 rebounds with the Pistons this season. Not exactly MVP numbers, but hey, every team needs a guy who can, well, play basketball. But in all seriousness, Bagley has shown some potential, and we can only hope that the change of scenery might just be the spark he needs to rev up his game. As for Livers, well, Piston fans are cheering that he's gone, so let's not expect much, but who knows much Wes Unseld's much-heralded player development skills will be put on display. I doubt it. Now let's shift gears and talk about the Pistons' new acquisitions, Danilo Gallinari and Mike Muscala. These veteran forwards have been averaging 7 and 4 points respectively for the Wizards this season. Not quite the numbers you'd expect from veterans, but then again, nobody's expecting them to be anything special or even serviceable. Matter of fact, I'm not entirely sure why the Pistons would make this trade. I can only guess they're there to provide experience, leadership, and hopefully to help clear some cap space for the Pistons in the 2024 to 2025 season. Here's a little fun fact. If you combine Gallinari and Muscala's points, you still don't get Bagley's average. But hey, who's counting, right? Well, probably the Pistons, as they're the ones paying these guys. In the end, this trade might not have been the blockbuster deal fans were hoping for. No big names, no dramatic shifts in power, just a good old-fashioned basketball trade, the kind that makes you go, oh, that happened. But who knows, maybe Bagley will find his groove in Washington, and Gallinari and Muscala will help the Pistons navigate their rebuilding process. It seems like the Wizards might be needing to make some more deals before the deadline because they are still losing. Now, you would think after blowing out the Atlanta Hawks on the road by 28 that the Wizards would punish a lowly Pistons team at home. You were wrong. Into the recent clash between the Detroit Pistons and the Washington Wizards. Just 2 days after the two teams traded their misfit parts, the remaining members from both teams on the court stepped up, engaging in a surprisingly close and heated game which saw Kyle Kuzma ejected with 2:37 left and his team trailing 120-110 after receiving 2 technical fouls, the first for clapping in the face of an official and the second for continuing to argue. The game was close for most of the first 3 quarters before a 9-0 run by Detroit gave the Pistons a 92-87 lead late in the third. The Pistons led by 15 in the fourth quarter of a game between the 2 worst teams in the Eastern Conference. In the final moments of an intensely heated contest, we witnessed the Detroit Pistons triumph over the Washington Wizards with a score of 129-117. Alec Burks stole the show with a season-high 34 points, matching his career high, while Jalen Duren added 20 points and 19 rebounds to Detroit's victory. On the other side, Tyus Jones fought valiantly for the Wizards with 22 points, 7 assists, and 6 rebounds. With this victory, the Pistons ended a 7-game losing streak and improved their regular season record to 4-36, while the Wizards' record stands at 7-32. And with that, I can't be mad at the Pistons. They showed a lot of heart, and even with the terrible streak and record, these guys have not quit. That's a testament to them, and Monty Williams, he still kind of is getting exposed, though. Anyway, Wizards and Pistons clashed on the court. This game was a testament to the Pistons' unwavering effort and enthusiasm, despite an NBA record-tying 28-game skid this season. Pistons coach Monty Williams praised his team's determination and commitment, highlighting Burks' exceptional performance and his ability to score. The game was a breakthrough for Pistons, not just a victory, but a demonstration of their determination to succeed. This game between the two worst teams in the Eastern Conference was nonetheless a spectacle of basketball prowess and determination, a testament to the team's capacity to adapt and thrive amidst change. Before we wrap up, let's take a quick look back at what we've discussed today. So, the Detroit Pistons said goodbye to Marvin Bagley III, sending him packing to the Washington Wizards in a trade for Danilo Gallinari and Mike Muscala. Now Bagley, the former number 2 overall pick, has had a decent run this season, averaging 10.2 points and 4.5 rebounds. But the Pistons sent him off anyway. He'll do more than ride the bench here, that's for sure. On the other side, the Wizards waved farewell to Gallinari and Muscala. 2 players that were old, slow, and tired: Gallinari, who tossed in an average of 7 points a game, and Muscala, who contributed a solid 4 points per game. Not exactly earth-shattering numbers, but hey, every point counts in this game, right? Now let's not forget about the game where these two teams clashed. Coach Wes Unseld continues to his bid for the worst head coach in the NBA with more confusing rotations and subs. Denny had his usual 12 points and 2 rebounds. Bilal mostly ran cardio, and Alec Burks turned into Steph Curry because why not? But there's one thing for sure: life, death, and Wizards basketball making me question my sanity. And that's all from DMV Sports Talk. Remember, in this game, you've got to be ready to trade your Wizards for Pistons. Or is it the other way around? Remember, guys, if you like the video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more quality sports content all around the DMV.